Hey everyone, happy Monday! Thank you for joining me tonight. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make lovely and quirky hand embroidery patterns and kits. And I'm here every weeknight at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, where we relax and craft and we work on a project together. Thanks replay viewers for watching, and thanks YouTube viewers for watching as well. I'm over here on the Penguin and Fish page, so if you want to watch me live, join me here at 8:30 p.m. Central Time again. So hello, I see you guys popping in. So tonight we are starting a new project. We are starting the Charming Chevrons quilt by Krista Watson of Krista Quilts. So it is so adorable, and I think it's gonna be just a nice, chill, relaxing quilt where you can just play with, you know, a bunch of your fun fabrics. So I'm excited to just dig in and start it tonight. And then we will also be going through the whole process of this quilt because I want to use it as an exercise in learning how to machine free motion quilt. Since I have not done that on a quilt before, I've practiced once on a tiny little square, and we're going to also use Krista's quilt, Krista's book, Machine Quilting with Style, as a guide to go through that. So you can check out the links. I have links to her pattern and her book in the Facebook post here, so you can check that out. And we are going to get going tonight. It is going to be a night of cutting, and I'm stoked. I'm excited to dig into my fabrics, and I can't remember if I got enough out for a queen size quilt or something smaller, so we're going to find that out when we cut as well. So thanks again for joining me, and be sure to join Krista's Facebook group. So you can watch other people there making it, and also join my Penguin and Fish Crafters group. You can do a search for that on Facebook or click the link, and be sure to share your progress, share your fabrics, and I'd love to see what you guys are doing for this quilt. So, all right, guys, thanks again for joining me. Oh, one last thing. I am just finishing up cutting out all your guys' fabric from the fabric sale that we had. I'm going to post the remainder, what's left. There are a few yards, like a yard here and there, of a few of the fabrics, not everything. And I want to still offer that to you guys just to show you what's left. So stay tuned for an email. I will send an email out, and then I will have a time for a Facebook group post. I'm going to post what's left as a big list in the Penguin and Fish Crafters group, and then I'll share the video with where we number it all, and then I'll have a big list written there, and then you can look at that to see what's left. So stay tuned for that. I think that'll happen this week. We'll see, but you'll get an email for it first so you know what time that's happening. So all right, and then I will be sending out your fabric really soon here. I finally have it all together. So, all right, that's business tonight. I'm going to flip you around. We'll get going on our new project. Okay, doke, here we are. So, all right, again, here is the pattern. So what's cool about this pattern is it has kind of like a background color going on here. With like this one, it has this dark blue as the background color, and here we have that gray that's the background color. And then we have all this scattered pretty variety of fabrics for you know, every other line of the chevron, of the zigzag. So what I have picked out for that, I have some like yummy, juicy fabrics. Yeah, yummy, exactly, Gretchen, that I've picked out. So most of these are from my stash, and I've had them sitting around for ages just because they were too pretty to cut in. And you know, I'm over that now. I'm all about using my fabrics. So here are some of the juicy fabrics that I have going on, and then this kind of solid. God, it's just all juicy. It's a juicy red. It's like a cranberry, like a bright cranberry red, maybe. I'm going to use that as my background. So I'm just going to show you kind of what I have picked out. Now, some of these are not fat quarters. So in her instructions, which is great, on the back on the material list, she has it split up if you're cutting with charm packs or fat quarters or yardage. And the background I'm going to cut from yardage, but all the other bits I'm going to be cutting from what I have. So some of these are fat quarters, like what she has in her instructions, but some are fat eighths. So I'm just going to do what I can get out of them. I cannot remember if I cut enough back fabric for a queen size quilt or for like a twin size quilt. So I'm going to cut this first to see how many squares I can get out of it. And then I'm going to just cut these until I run out. And if I need more, I will find some more fabric that kind of goes with this. Like, look how juicy and yummy that is. Oh, and look, there's a little deer in there. Oh, man. See, and this one has like a little fox or something in there. So this is going to be my juicy little thing. So we'll have colors. And I think it'll be pretty random. I'm going to try and keep it random. And then this will be the background bit. Oh yeah, the indigo with the white pearls. Yes, I love all these deep, rich colors lately. So we're doing a lot of saturated juiciness here. Even the light colors are pretty saturated and juicy. So that is my plan. So I did not pick lights and darks and mediums. I did not focus on that at all. I'm all right. I'm okay with the idea that maybe I won't have like a dark line and then a light line and a dark line. I'm okay with the actual chevron lines not being super called out. If you want really high contrast, like a dark background and a really light foreground or lines, or vice versa. If you're going for something like that, then really think about your lights and darks through your quilt. So your background color, if your background is a dark color, like this is kind of dark. If it's dark, then you'll want to do the like lighter colors for your mix of zigzag colors. If you want it lower contrast, so if you don't want to see the zigzag quite so much, quite so starkly like black and white, then you can do what I'm doing. I'm just kind of doing a whole pile of mediums, a whole range of stuff. I am not pre-washing my fabric. I think as long as all of it's not pre-washed, then I'll be okay. I know there's a lot of people have some rules on whether to pre-wash your fabric first or not. And the most I've heard on that is if you're going to pre-wash, make sure it's all pre-washed. And the reason you would do this is, the rate of shrinkage of the fabric. So if it's all pre-washed, then it's not going to shrink more. So all your fabric will be okay. I guess the idea with that is that, that's for sure. If you pre-wash, then you're probably good to go. If you don't pre-wash, then you just have to make sure that that you don't have any pre-washed fabric with your stuff. So it's all going to shrink kind of at the same rate. So all right, I'm going to cut this. I know I have like this big crease in the middle, and I think we're just going to deal. I don't really want to iron all this, even though that'd probably be a good idea. I think we're just going to, oh man, it really should, well, I think we're just going to cut, and then we'll just deal with it. Ultimately, we will be cutting these down because we'll be making half square triangles, so we'll be cutting them down. So even if they're not perfect at this stage, I think we'll be okay. That's the other thing, Karen, bleeding. So, and that might be a problem with this red. Bright colors, especially red and blues and like browns and blacks, sometimes those can bleed. So that'd be another reason for pre-washing. I have not checked this. So if it bleeds, it bleeds. That's where we're at right now. But yeah, if you are unsure, make sure to like get a little swatch, trim a swatch off, and pre-wash it. Luckily, all of my fabrics are these like really painterly, juicy fabrics. So if there is a little bit of bleed, that's not going to be the end of the world for me with this particular quilt. But yeah, if you are worried, be sure to do a little swatch test. So, okay, I'm going to break out the pattern here. The nice thing is that she has this pattern really split up in the size. So, you know, whether you're doing a queen or a lap size quilt, and then also what you're cutting it from. If you're cutting from yardage like this, or if you're cutting from fat quarters and stuff. So I'm going to be cutting from yardage for the background, and I'm going to be cutting from fat quarters for everything else. So I'm going to just look at this. I'm making the queen size, so I'm going to start out with 33 strips from here. So and I've already cut this. And again, I don't know if I cut like for a lap size quilt or a twin size or a queen size. I think I did queen size, so we should be able to get like 33 strips out of here. So I'm gonna just get going on that right away. Oh, that's a good idea anyway, Maureen. Maureen suggests, I'm gonna lift you guys up a little bit more. Maureen suggests putting a color catcher, which is by Shout, I believe. It looks like a dryer sheet, I think, but it's supposed to like catch all the colors. It grabs the colors when it's washed. So any new quilt, that would be a good idea to do. I am just going to unroll this. I know I talked about doing a queen size Gretchen. I'm not positive that that's what I cut from here. I think it is. I'm just not sure. You know what? Before I unroll this, I think I'm going to trim the one side so I have a nice edge, and then I'm going to rotate this all so I can just keep cutting my strips off of it. I think we'll do it that way. So, all right, I'm going to just line up my folded edge. I know it's kind of hard to see for you guys, but I'm going to line up my folded edge on a line. And we're going to trim my first bit here. And again, I am going to be, you know, ideally this would be ironed and everything, but I am going to be cross-cutting these, and I will be trimming them down when we're done. So these are the blocks we're making. So we're just making a pile of blocks like this. And the first step is cutting strips of these, and then we'll cross-cut them as well. So, all right, first up, let's get a nice straight edge. And then I think I'll rotate this around. I'm not sure I have room to do that, but we're gonna give it a try anyway. I've been cutting all your guys' fabric from the fabric sale on a huge table with a bunch of cutting boards. And so this is gonna be weird working in this tiny little space. Cutting again. Ooh, and I have to reach really far here. All right. There we go. Getting started. So now we should have a nice edge here. Got a little close there. I hope I have a edge all the way through. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to just rotate all of this so I can cut with my ruler on top. So I can cut my, these are, I believe, yeah, 5-inch or so. I'm going to cut those like this. So I'm going to align my fold at the top now. Let's see, I'm going to scoot you guys up a hair. We'll go like this. How about that? And now I'm going to just kind of unravel my fabric a little just so I can just scooch the folds over instead of having to unroll it all. So much fabric. This must be a queen size because look at all the fabric I cut. This is like half a bolt of fabric. I don't know. It seems that way. All right. So much pretty red. Man, feels like I'm doing a Christmas project or something. This is like a really rich, pretty red. This would be like the perfect Christmas red. All right. Almost scooched all the way over. All right, and I think it gets less wrinkly as we go, so I just don't want it to fall off the table. All right, so I'm going to align my top edge with that fold, and then I have that nice edge that I just cut here, and it looks like everything is still together pretty well. All right, I think it's as good as it's gonna be. Let's cut a bunch of pieces here. So we're doing 5-inch strips here. I'm gonna try and be as accurate as I can. We'll see. This is gonna be an evening of cutting. Let me double check. I got scared all of a sudden. Yeah, all right, we're right. So if you're doing this with charm packs, then you're all ready to go. You don't need anything else. Oh wow, I already cut that really oddly. Huh. Well, we'll see how this goes. Again, even if I'm a little off in this part of it, like, you know, I have this little squiggly line, it's not perfectly straight there. We will be making these into half square triangles and trimming them down. So even if we're a hair off, ultimately I think they're going to be good. I'm going to move these over already, just so we can have a better line and I can know that I'm cutting straight. I want that top line to be on the fold. I'm not as worried about over here just because I can line that up with my ruler. Funny, Gretchen. All right, I think we're still looking decent here. Might be a little crooked. There we go. This is my, I gotta say, it is still my least favorite part of a project. This cutting always freaks me out. Like, first of all, you're dealing with a really sharp blade, so you don't want to injure yourself. So I always immediately close my blade when I'm not using it. Like, I don't even set it down. I immediately turn it off, put the safety on. So we're dealing with that, and I'm just afraid, you know, it's one of those things like, oh, I don't want to cut something wrong because then I'll be wasting all that fabric, and you know, I don't want to slip or anything like that either. And so I don't know, I don't find much relaxation in cutting. And you know what, I think that's why I'm doing a project like this as well, because this is a project where all the blocks are the same, and that kind of allows you to really kind of sink into the project. You always have band-aids nearby when you cut. Yeah, the sliding ruler. So one thing that I have found has worked super well for me is I got these True Grip stickers, True Grip stickers on my ruler, and I've put a few there. That has helped so much with my ruler not slipping when I cut. Like, it's like a game changer. I would recommend that product. You know, assuming you have rulers and a cutting board and a rotary cutter, that would be the next thing, honestly, that I would recommend to have in your arsenal are those stickers. So mine have been on here for a while, so they're becoming, I think, less sticky. But yeah, like, look, I'm like moving it around, and it's barely moving at all. They're the best thing I've found for keeping the grip. I haven't had luck with much else. So I would totally recommend those. Oh, they help you, Athena, too. Gretchen, I do have the link in the Facebook post here. I think I have that in. It's True Grips stickers, and I'm pretty sure I put the link in. But yeah, those have honestly been a huge, huge deal for me. Oh, you're embroidering the jellyfish. Cool, Christine. Oh, you call the sisters jellyfish, 3 of them. Oh, that's sweet. You'll have to share in the crafters group. I know I've been a little out of the crafters group again lately, but it's because I'm cutting your fabric and then your guys' fabric, and then I'll be back in. I spent all weekend cutting and organizing fabric, and I just got done this evening. It's been kind of crazy going through all that fabric again. So I have, ooh, geez, I must have I have a little nick or something in, I'm gonna grab my scissors, little nick or something in my rotary cutter. I forgot to change the blade before I started tonight, and that was probably pretty dumb. I usually like to change the blade at the start of new projects, and if there's a lot of cutting in a project, and I just forgot. So I might have to, before tomorrow, well, you know, maybe we'll be done cutting by then, I don't know, so maybe it won't matter. But, well, we'll have a lot more cutting because we'll have to cut out all the half square triangles and all that. So ultimately I will want to put a new blade in here, so maybe I get that ready for tomorrow. Because that's annoying when there's that one little tick mark in there that doesn't work in the blade. Oh yeah, but what I was saying is, like, I'm hoping I can relax into this a little bit. Relax into the cutting, since this is one of those things that I never feel like I relax into with a project. Is there anyone who likes cutting? Like, what do you like about it? I'd love to hear. I need some insight into what there is to like. I suppose I get to see my fabric all laid out. That'll be more fun once I start cutting the other stuff. But it'll be like the first time that I'm opening the fabric up, so that'll be kind of fun. So eventually here I'm gonna have to count how many strips I've cut, but I'm far from 35, I'm sure, or 33, whatever it was. So I'm just gonna keep going. Although this does feel a lot like what I've been doing for the past week, which is cutting the fabric. You don't mind cutting, Gretchen? Yeah, Mary, I love these grips. They really are one of my favorite things, these true grips. And they're so simple. They're just these little rubber circles. But yeah, if you're using charm packs are already 5-inch squares. So you don't have to do any of this cutting. It'll all be kind of done for you already. You can just start sewing. Oh gosh, that would have been a good idea. Man, if I do this quilt again, maybe I'll just, that's not true. I was gonna say maybe I'll just order a bunch of charm packs and then just get started at it right away, but I know I probably wouldn't actually do that. I'm still in the finish all my or go through all my fabric, finish all my stuff and use up all the stuff. So I don't know, I can't see myself buying any charm packs yet until I use up a bunch of my fabric, but I like the idea that I could just buy charm packs and be done with it. Skip all this together. That's a way to deal with not especially liking this part. Cutting is nerve-wracking because it's never perfect, but needs to be. Yeah, yep. That's exactly it, Mary. The only good thing for you is that it means you're starting a new project. Yep. To me, I feel like picking out the fabric is the start of the new project, so I'm over the starting the new project feel. That already happened. But I do find it exciting to see that stack pile up over there. So I don't know, that has some happy feelings for me right now. So that's fun. How are we doing? I might be, I'm not quite, I'm about maybe halfway through the fabric I have here. we'll count that stack in a little bit here. Man, maybe I should have, it might have been as smart for me to let this lay out and uncrease itself overnight, but I don't know if that really would have done anything. Because I got a lot of wrinkles. It's been kind of folded up for a while. Ooh, Patty, yes. I like seeing my stash go down. I don't know, lately, like this, over the past year or so, dang it, that's really, really been a huge, huge happy feeling for me, just going through my fabric. And, you know, again, starting with the Splendid Sampler, I started using fabric that I couldn't bring myself to use because it was all just too pretty and I never wanted to use it. Like I never thought I'd be, never be good enough, basically, I think is what it comes down to. I wasn't good enough. I wasn't going to be good enough to use my pretty fabric. That needed to be, I don't know. I didn't want to hurt it, by cutting it up, right? But now I'm like way more in the mindset of I'm honoring the fabric by using it. So, and I really do feel like that, like when it's all of a sudden being sewn into a square or sewn into a block or whatever, it really does feel like, oh, I'm honoring this fabric instead of just looking at it and being pretty. So since I realized that feeling, I've been really going at it, trying to use up favorite fabrics that I've saved for like, some of it like over a decade just because it was too pretty. So it makes me so happy to be using it now. So that's why I want to just keep using it and not buy anything else for the time being. Oh man, I keep right in the middle there. I get one little bit, which sucks because then it messes up all these. All right, I'm actually almost done here. So you know what? Maybe now is a good time to count to see where we're at. Just to, because I might have cut this a little longer than I needed, so I don't want to accidentally cut more. Oh, thanks, Patty. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm thinking maybe I didn't do it for a queen. 15, 16, 17, 18. Ooh, I might have just done it for a twin. We will see. Oh man, maybe I want to do it for a queen. I don't know. I'll have to decide. Oh man, did I say 16? I totally don't remember. I counted it and then immediately forgot what it was. That was dumb. I'm just gonna line this up again. You vote queen. I kind of do too. I think I have more around. I actually have some really, juicy purple fabric too. I was thinking that maybe I could do a combination of red and purple. Or what I was thinking is, like, if I ran out of all my, 18. Okay, so this is 19. If I ran out of all my other fabric, if I ran out of all of this, I could do that purple solid and then have the rest of my zigzag be solid red and solid purple. Could be kind of fun. Yeah, I think I only cut enough for a twin here. Because this will be 20. I have both of those near me here, so we could just continue cutting to a queen size. Although maybe it's not a good size to do a queen, or good idea to do a queen size, just because this will be like my first time quilting, and I'm free motion quilting, and I'll be doing it with a queen size on a tiny, tiny table on a small machine. So maybe that's not the best idea, but you know, maybe that's the most challenging thing I'll do, and I'll do that first. Oh, Gretchen, I don't see why not. I think you can use anything for quilting, really. It's just, you know, each fabric has their own little quirks. So I know, like, linen can get super duper wrinkly. Man, is this 22 or 21? I think it's 21. We're gonna have to count again. But I think for the twin size, I only needed 25 of these strips, and I'm thinking, go for it. I'm thinking I'm not gonna get 33 out of here. All right, this is what, 20? So that last one was 22, so this is 23. I'll have to count again. 23. Can only hold like one thing in my head at a time. All right, 24. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. When quilting, it's best to go with the same weights of fabric. In sewing in general, that's true too. So I mean, if you're gonna do linen, you know, do the whole thing linen. If you haven't done it ever before, I would maybe go with the quilting weight fabric. But if you've used linen a ton and you're comfortable using and sewing with linen, then go for it. All right, let me just count again quick. I know, I love, love, love this red. Yeah, queen size probably the most learning practice area. You'll get the hang of it. Let's just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, I think I might have grabbed 4 of these ones. I gotta count again. It's UGA red. Funny. That was at 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, there we go. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So that was 25. So I'm not sure. Like I was thinking originally that I wanted to do this for our futon. That turns out to be, I need my knitting row counter. Yeah, you're totally right, Carla. But I was thinking that it could be for the guest futon, and then it would be queen sized. But I don't know. Maybe I just want it twin size, so it's something that we can pull out on the couch or something. I don't know. You know what? I think we can decide tomorrow, because we can actually sew the whole thing, and I can decide if I want it to be bigger later too, which is kind of fun. So I think we're gonna just leave it at 25 for now, and then tomorrow I'll break out the that like more red and that purple if we decide we want to do purple yet. So, all right, I think, let's see, I need to cross cut these into 5-inch squares. So let's do that first. We'll cross cut right away. Yeah, full. Well, it doesn't have full as in a, she doesn't have a full on here. So lap, throat, twin, and queen. And you know what? I've been making a whole lot of queen quilts lately. Maybe I don't want to do another queen. I don't know. I'm trying to think through this a little bit. All right, I'm going to turn this sidewise, and we're going to cross cut. Oh yeah, twin sides could be a nice. So like, yeah, you know, Sue, that is a good point. I like having quilts in the living room. We have a ton in the living room already, but I like them just to grab, like if you want to take a nap or something. And I think a lot of ours are more smaller, so maybe a bigger one there would be good. I'm going to just read the instructions again. So I need a total of 198 strips. So, all right, time to do some math. I'm just curious. I want to know how many I need out of here for sure. So I'm going to just do the math on this really quick. I got my phone here with a calculator. So I'm going to take what I end up needing and divide by how many strips I have. Okay. So can I get 4 out of here? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that's what I want to know. I'm just curious because I have, you know, the selvage is a little goofy here. So I want to make sure that I'm not cutting off too much fabric, and we're going to be fine. So I'm feeling better about that. So I'm going to just lay 2 on top of each other here, and then I will spin it around, and then we'll cross cut the 5, I think. So these are all kind of bent and wobbly, foldy, but I think we'll deal. Okay, I got the edges lined up nicely. All right, let's trim that, and I'll cross cut a pile of these. You know, I think I'm gonna put 1 more on there. We'll see what the rotary cutter can handle. This is where it would have been nice to have a fresh blade on, but yeah, well, we'll see what we can do tonight here. You're making a throw for your nephew. That's awesome. Yeah, you know what? The more I think about it, maybe the more I'm feeling the throw, or not the throw, the twin size. Oh, that worked fine. So you know what? I'm going to just go based on the ruler lines. I know that's kind of poo-pooed, but I'm going to do it anyway. Again, I don't think these have to be ultimately super perfect because we are going to be sewing them into triangles and then trimming them down. So for the sake of it being easy, I'm going to do it this way. Oh, Ashley, I totally agree. I'm super excited about this quilt pattern. I think it's just going to be really pretty. Like, look how rich this looks with like the dark behind there. That's kind of the effect that I'm going. I think her fabrics, all her colorful fabrics, I think they're probably a hair lighter than mine, so mine won't have as good contrast, but I love how juicy that looks. Juicy is, I mean, this is just going to have to be named Juicy or something, this quilt when I'm done with it. The Juicy quilt. All right, we're making stacks of squares. So I'll leave all these stacks separate because then we can do math really quick at the end, hopefully. I think I'm going to have a lot more than I need, actually, now that I think of it. Hold on, got to do math again. It's that time of year or day. So it says I only need 108 or 198 of these. But I think I'm going to have a lot more than that. I don't know. We'll see. All right, some scraps. You paid a lot of money for these lines. You use them. Nice, Linda. All right, because like we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 6. Oh, that's right. I had put 6 on 3 on top of each other. I was confusing myself because I put a bunch of layers on. Okay, now I'm less confused. So, so this is 6. So we should have, I did that 4 times, right? So we should have 24 right here. That makes sense, right? 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6. Yeah. So each of these stacks should be 24 if I keep doing it the same way. And I did it with 3 layers of fabric, assuming my ruler can take it. But then it'll not my ruler, my rotary cutter. But then we will be done with this a lot faster than doing them all separately. I do like cross-cutting more just because I think we magically have the size that we need, maybe, I don't know. Or I know what it is. I'm not dealing with as long of pieces because, I don't know, it's just those long pieces get unruly and scary, maybe. All right, I'm doing 3 layers again. The reason I think the argument that it's not always good to use the lines is that the rulers are the most, in theory, precise thing. Like a ruler butted up against this is more precise than like eyeballing this line, I think. And you can, you know, I don't know, line up the edges a little bit better. I don't know. I like using the lines, but I've been told that it's not as accurate. But whatever. Like I said, we're going to be trimming these down again later, so I don't think they have to be the most perfect thing ever. It's not like when we're working with a bunch of really fine pieces and those have to be perfect. And still, I think probably the scant 1/4 inch sewing is probably more important than the perfect cutting in that case. But I'll only have 2 squares left over when I cut all the strips. Okay, that sounds good. I might not even press these until we've sewn them into the half square triangles, because we'll have to press them for sure then, and I'm not sure it's worth it for me to do that beforehand because they're just, I don't know, too wrinkly and I don't want to distort them too much more. Oh, hello, Krista. So Krista just popped in. This is her pattern that we're doing, and we are super excited to be making it, Krista. So I don't know if you saw my fabrics. I'm doing this as my background fabric, and then I'm doing like all these kind of juicy, that's all what we've been calling them, juicy fabrics for the other colors. But I'm super stoked. All right, so we should have 48 there. Let's keep going. My horribly unpressed fabric here. I think we can do the 3 layers again. We'll just keep doing the 3 layers. But yeah, if you guys did want to get this, the pattern is available. I have it on my Facebook page here. I'm sure Krista would love if you went and got the pattern. We'll be doing this for a while as well, so and if you haven't quilted before or you haven't tried half square triangles before, this would be just, you know, a super duper great pattern for that. Alrighty, I think we're good here. It's folded funny, so I want to make sure that it's as flat as it can be, and it's just wonky. We're gonna deal with it. All right, so let's trim off the selvage again. Ha! Yeah, trying to get. Well, I was thinking that I cut enough fabric for a queen size, but then it turns out that I must have chickened out before and just cut it for a twin size. We'll see. I don't know. The more I'm thinking about machine quilting this, the more I'm thinking of bailing on the queen size. Although I love the idea of seeing a queen size of this when I'm done. I'm curious how much of the other fabric I have, like how many squares that's going to add up to. I have a feeling I'm going to be a bit short on the other fabrics. So I'll either look for some more juicy fabrics to supplement them, or I will use that purple. And the purple is actually that purple that I used in the English paper piecing project. Blair's English paper piecing project. So, oops, let's get the selvage over here. So it's that rich, kind of bright grape purple, which I think would look really pretty with this red. And you know, there's tons of purples and all those other fabrics that I picked out. So might just have a solid for the rest of my colors. Just double checking that all the selvages are over the edge here. So we don't have too many more to do. I think we need to do this 2 more times, 2 more stacks of 3, and then I think we're done. I love how you just wing it. I have to have everything picked out. Well, it did take me a while to pick out how much I have. So now that I have like an idea, you know, it took me a long time to pick these colors. Like I weeded out a lot from these colors because it took away from the painty juiciness of it, just a hint. So all those ones that just took away from the juiciness versus adding to the juiciness, even though they were from the same collections as some of those other ones, but if my eye went to them too much, like if there was like a, you know, like a rabbit or something on some sort of design, I shied away from it because I lost the juicy paintiness of it. So it took me a long time to get to where I was at, or where I'm at with the colors that I have now, and this like red chosen as the background. That takes me a while. That takes me some shimmying back and forth of fabrics and really deciding. But once I have some decisions, then it's easy for me at that point to stay with that theme. So now that I kind of know what I'm going for and everything, it becomes easier. But yeah, I kind of feel like I have it all planned out, even though it sounds maybe like I'm just winging it. I did spend a bunch of time, my initial time, picking out these fabrics. I do kind of feel like I'm winging it with this cutting though. Precision-wise, I'm not being super precise. I'm not, you know, I'm not getting right next to those selvages. I'm not being super perfect. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna have to do this 3 more times, not 2. But again, I think we'll be okay because we're gonna have to trim these half square triangles down afterwards. Oh yeah, Blair's book was listed in I saw that today too, the 2017 Library Journal, for one of the top books of 2017. And I totally agree. I put it on, I did that blog post a little while back of my top 5 crafting books, and that one's totally up there. It speaks to me from the using up what you have, using up your fabrics mode that I've been in for a while. You know, she even has a jean quilt in there, you know. I mean, that's on the cover of her book. And, you know, I've been working on that jean quilt for years and years. But I love that. I love the idea of going through what you have and stuff. So, and it's just, the projects are great. I'm really happy that we were able to do one of those projects. All right, so that is 5 5 stacks of 24. Yeah, I'll have to trim these down anyway, so if they're a little wonky wonk, that's not going to be the end of the world. I'm going to put this up here. Wow, I have more of these left than it felt like, so I don't know, maybe we'll be cutting here for a little while yet, I guess. We'll have a pretty stack of red by the end of the evening. Tomorrow will be fun. We might be able to start, oop, that was 3 already. I might be able to start cutting the other fabric tonight. I think we have a little time left. Otherwise, we won't finish it though. So tomorrow we will cut and finish cutting all the like patterned fun fabric. So I'm stoked for that. Then we get to really open up the pretty fabric and gawk at all the prettiness. That's what I'm excited for. My pretty fabric that's been on the shelf for a decade because it's too pretty. Makes me so happy that I'm using it though. We're honoring the fabric by putting it in a project. And I feel like it's, I'm honoring the fabric by learning how to free motion quilt with it. You know what I mean? Like whenever I look back at this quilt, I'll be like, that's the quilt that I learned how to free motion quilt on. How special. Yeah, cutting yardage. I mean, like I said, if we just had charm packs, we'd skip this step altogether. We wouldn't have to cut anything because charm packs are already at the, 5 inches. But we got to cross cut. We got to deal with fabric everywhere. We got to unroll bolts of stuff, and yeah, that'll take a little while. So it looks like we have 4 strips left. So we'll try and cut those 4 at the same time when we're done with this one. Oh man, I'd love the idea of a queen. A queen quilt is just a really good shape too. It's more squarish, and I don't know, I like this shape. Are you going to use the block rulers to square up your half square triangles? Oh, the block rulers. I don't know what those are. I'm going to have to look into those. I'm just going to use, I have a rotary table, or not a table, I have that rotary cutting mat. I'll use that just because it's fun. And I have the OmniGrid rulers that have that diagonal line down there, and I really like that. But no, I don't have those block lock rulers. I've heard of them before, but no, I don't have any of those. I'll have to do a little search on them yet tonight. All right, I have 7 piles of 24 now. Ooh, look at this fun, juicy pile of selvages. I like multiples of things. There's something good about multiples. Oh yeah, here's my rotating cutting mat. So I'll trim them all on here because I can cut 2 sides and then it just rotates around, and I can cut the other 2 without moving them around and stuff. So that's what I'll use when I trim them. That's going to be a whole sit down and chit chat for the evening because we'll be trimming squares the whole time. That will be where we just sink into the cutting a lot more. Yeah, I was going to get my my machine out and everything tonight, but I'm like, you know what? We're going to be cutting for a while. We'll just cut for a while. You would love those rulers. They nestle. Ooh, they nestle into the seams. I'll look into those. I don't know if I'll be able to get them in time, but you know what? Maybe. We have to sew it all yet, and I will look into it, Janet. All right. Now this is 4 layers, so this is a little bit more than I would like to use with this rotary cutter right now, especially since I think I need to change the blade. Look, it's turning my rotary cutter red. Fuzzles. Probably shouldn't do what I just did there. I went this way so I wouldn't, you know, if I would have went that way, then I would have cut my finger there. I was just like, ooh, I've never seen this much fuzz on my ruler before, or my rotary cutter before. But do notice I am closing and opening it, like putting the safety on and closing it right away. You know, opening it right when I cut, and then immediately my finger, I close it up with my thumb. Like I hate when people are, I don't hate, but it makes me really nervous when people cut and they leave it open and then they're doing a bunch of stuff here and then they cut the other one and then they're doing a bunch of stuff and then they're setting it there with it open. Oh man, that freaks me out so much. I always, like it's a complete habit. I don't even have to think about it. It's always on. Undo it, cut and close it right away. And I'm just meaning, this is what I'm doing. I'm putting the safety on and the safety's on. See, it's being covered up by this plastic bit, and then I remove the safety and the blades there. So that's what I'm doing there. I know, so much on the blade. Oh man, nope, I don't think I ever have cut this much red fabric at once. That's probably guaranteed. All right, that's it for these. So let's see. This one should have 8 extra. So this one has 36. So let's do some math. Let's see if you're right there. I have 24 times, I have 7 stacks plus 36 equals, yeah, I have 2 of 4, so I have a little extra. Oh, I have 6 extra. So that is fine. We will just have it sit around here. I'm going to just make my giant stack. You know what? Maybe if I have extra, I'll just sew the extra couple. Then it can be part of the back of the quilt or a little pillow or something. But look at a giant stack of red squares. Ooh, when we do the half square triangles, I'm just going to have my big old stack sitting there and just grab for them. Now there is later in the instructions, if you read ahead on the instructions, I will be, I think, dividing these into half before we start sewing, because some of them have to go one way and some have to go the other way, I think, or I don't know. I'll have to look into that again. But all right, we have a few extra there. I think we will call it a night at that. But then tomorrow we will cut into these. Maybe I'll find a few backup fabrics tomorrow yet, and otherwise I'll grab that purple, and I think I can reach it. I'll show you what that purple looks like really quick here. Yeah, so this is what, I'm gonna get all tangled. This is that purple. So maybe, oh, see now, look how the purple and the red, that's just like juiciness next to each other. So they are a similar tone, but again, I'm kind of going for that low contrastness of this all. Oh, 24 plus 8 is 32. Oh, well, I had, one of these had 30, I only had 7. So I had 24, 7 stacks of 24, and then I had a stack of 36 because I had four layers at the end. So that's the difference. So maybe we will cut as many squares as we can get out of here, and then we'll supplement whatever else we need with this purple. So I think that's going to be the plan, because I really do like this purple, and I think it would look good with a lot of these. So, all right, that's the plan, and it's here, so I don't have to search for anything. So, all right, we got stack of red. Tomorrow will be stack of pretty and purple, and we'll be ready to sew after that. So we'll be sewing this week yet for sure. So awesome! I'm so excited. All right, guys, I'm going to flip you around and we'll call it an evening. Yay! I'm so excited for this project. Look at, whoosh, lots of red. So could have just gotten a few charm packs that were red like this, but you know, maybe it's special that I'm cutting it out myself. I do like to see the yardage shrink up to nothing. That's kind of fun. Using up the fabric. So that, and then these guys, ugh, I love these fabrics so much. I think they're gonna mix together really well too. So that'll be fun. Excited to open those up. Some of them I haven't even opened up out of the little fat quarter state. So some of them I don't even know if they're fat quarters or fat eighths. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I don't know how many squares I'll get out of there, but we'll get as much as we can. And yeah, the rest we'll do purple. So awesome, guys. We will be working on this for a while. So feel free to join us. This is going to be a nice, chill, easy quilt where you're going to do something special with the half square triangles. And if you haven't done half square triangles before, this would be a great project. So I encourage you to get the pattern. I do have links. There's a PDF version and a printable version, I believe, or not a printable, the paper version. And man, I recommend getting this booklet. It's really great. So this is the physical version. I think that's the one that I have the link to. And we'll end up quilting this, but I'm ready to sink into the sewing of it all. And I hope you guys are too. So awesome. I will get this up on Penguin and Fish Movies over at YouTube. So this project will live over there when we're done. It'll also stay here on Facebook, but sometimes it's easier to just find the whole project at once on YouTube. And I will be here again tomorrow, and be sure to check out Krista's page. All right, guys, good night. Thanks again for joining me. See you tomorrow.